All right, to prelude into our next guest, we got September 16th coming up. We got two big world middleweight championships. Here in the United States, we have Canelo versus Triple G, obviously, and we're going to be discussing a lot of that over the next couple of shows. But in London, at the same time, we have a WBO World Championship bout with a boxing superstar by the name of Billy Joe Saunders defending his belt against Willie Monroe Jr. Michael Doss, give us a little prelude into that fight while I go get our next guest.
Yes, sir. Well, like everybody knows, we got a great middleweight fight between Triple G and Canelo. There is another, title fight happening. You got Billy Joe Saunders, who, hasn't fought in a while. He's, the last time he was supposed to fight the guy that he was fighting, got in trouble with some stuff going on, organized crime, whatever, Andre Kurtzide. And then now they're announcing Willie Monroe Jr. Willie Monroe Jr., 21-2, has a couple downfalls, had some good wins. Met a guy named Triple G, like we just talked about before, and he's came back. He's a hard guy to fight. It's going to be an interesting fight. He's a lanky, tall southpaw. He can move around the ring. He's got some talent.
Doss.
Yes, sir.
Michael Doss, I have our next guest on the line, and very excited to have him. I know he's one of the individuals we were looking forward to having on the show, and tonight we make it happen. He is a current WBO World Middleweight Champion. He's one of the most outspoken boxing superstars on the planet today, and it's great to have him here tonight on ATG Radio. We welcome the champ, Billy Joe Saunders. Mr. Superb, welcome to the show.
How we going, my brother? You good?
We're good, man. We're good. Just checking up on you. The other day we saw a picture posted about you. Your promoter, Frank Warren, is saying, Billy Joe's back better than ever. That's what we should ask you, champ. How are you doing? How's everything coming together in preparation for your title defense on September 16th?
Well, everything's falling into plan perfectly. I mean, every camp's going well, sparring's going well, feeling fitter and stronger than ever. There's no excuses. Willie Monroe, he is what he is. He's been at the elite level, and he fell short at the elite level by a long margin. Where, if I get my chance, I don't know if have you heard of America. Have you heard of gypsies in America?
Of course. We heard the travelers, the gypsies. They got many names. We know where your background is.
Romany gypsy. I'm an English Romany gypsy, and I'm going to take over. And in time to come, you're going to say I interviewed him, and he told me he was going to beat Golovkin. I really hope Golovkin knocks Canelo out, and then I get the chance to upset Golovkin, because I know I've got it inside me. I'm born to do it. It's destiny.
Now, speaking on your opponent, Willie Monroe, he's been talking a lot of trash. I know, you're no stranger to talking trash. You backed it up. You're undefeated, so obviously you backed up all the trash talk in your major fights. But it seems like that's all he has. You said he is what he is. Is this trash talk that he's bringing to you, is it getting under your skin? Are you coming into the 16th of September ready to put this guy out of his misery?
It doesn't get under my skin, no, to be honest with you. I'm the king of mind games. Already I've got under his skin and mind games. He sounded a load of rubbish about clean sport and whatnot else. He's putting a load of stuff out about, am I on enhancing drugs? I'm a guy who comes down from 14 stone, a big fat piece of lard, coming down to 11 stone 6. So I don't need that. I'm a true warrior. I've got that gypsy blood in me. I'm bred to fight. And him, that's all he is a quitter. I mean, he had his big chance to change his life, to change his family's life, to change his kids' life, and he said to the referee, I'm done. He gave that up. He didn't stand and fight for the final belt. And to me, that's not a warrior. That's not a boxer. That is a man who likes to look good all the time, and when he's on top, he looks good. But when it gets put back on him, he hasn't got the heart to deal with me.
Well, speaking of that, and this is Michael Doss, by the way. Billy Joe, it's an honor having you on the show. But speaking of that, man, are you going out on a mission? He didn't technically knock out Willie Monroe Jr., Triple G. Are you going out to make a better statement that Triple G made? Are you going to try to get him out there early? Are you going to try to make it where he doesn't quit? Are you going in for the knockout?
let's put it straight. I mean, I'll give Willie Monroe Jr. some credit. He also had success in the Golovkin fight, but let's see if he has as much success fighting me. He won't have as much success fighting me. That's for sure. I will guarantee that. He will not hit me. He will not hit me with if he had a handful of rice and throw at me, because he's one of those on top fighters, Willie Monroe. When he's gaining confidence, he looks superb. I mean, against Rosado, no disrespect to any fighter. I know what it takes. It takes a lot of guts to get in the ring, but Rosado he's over the hill. He is a stepping stone for young fighters coming through. He's a let me test myself fight. And Willie Monroe should beat him 7 days a week anyway. I mean, our man Martin Murray beat him, and you can't go on previous fights, but Martin Murray beat him better than Willie Monroe did. And Willie Monroe should be stopping guys like him, and he's not. So I'm not taking nothing away from him. He's in there with a puncher's chance. He's slick when he's let to be slick. So if I take that away from him, I'm just going to put a full stop to him straight away. And, he's been talking a lot of rubbish, and I'll make sure to back my rubbish up what I've been talking. That's 100%.
Well, speaking of the middleweight division we talked about before, you got Triple G and Canelo. Everybody's got eyes on that. You probably have more eyes than anybody on this fight. This could really change your career, depending on what happens. You want Triple G to win. I think he's going to win the fight. But a lot of people have been speculating, and kind of rumors been floating around that if he wins against Canelo, that he actually may retire. Have you heard anything about that? What are your thoughts about that? And what's going to happen to the division?
Well, how about this, Dawes? How about this? I'm picking Canelo to win. A lot of people are picking Canelo to win.
Let me tell you, it's a 50-50 fight, but I've been studying this, like you say, closer than anybody else. And Canelo, to me, in training, he looks a little bit flat. I mean, he looks like he's left a little bit in the gym to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I fancied Canelo at first, but now I saw him training and sparring, little small clips. He don't look as sharp and as explosive as he normally does. He is looking a little bit flat in camp, in my opinion.
Well,
but now Billy Joe. Now getting into that, obviously you have to get through 16th of September, Canelo Triple G, 16th of September. Unification bouts are starting to become a little bit more popular. They were rare a couple of years ago. I myself, we're here in the United States. We're in Las Vegas. We would love to see Billy Joe Saunders come abroad and fight in the United States. Is that something that I don't believe you've done yet? I think all your fights have been in the UK.
You were supposed to go over there.
You were supposed to go. Is that something on your bucket list as a champion fighter?
Since I've been a young kid, my dream is to always fight for world titles in Las Vegas. I mean, to do that would be a dream come true. And I've signed to fight Canelo twice. I've signed to fight Golovkin twice. And twice, then 2 fights has not happened. But I was willing to go to Kazakhstan and fight Golovkin last time out, and it didn't happen. But most definitely, I will put pen to paper tonight to go to America, especially Las Vegas, under the big lights, and fight for a unification. That's a guaranteed I'd love to do.
Well, you lost that, with Triple G. You figured twice Triple G had turned it down. Canelo has fought some fighters from the UK in the past. He's fought them here. Would that be something? Do you think Canelo, with Triple G's track record with you, he may retire. He'll probably duck you, not have any interest in unifying the titles with you. Would you set your sights on Canelo if should he be victorious?
I would love that fight with Canelo. His style, I love boxing people like him. I mean, if you look at Lara, Lara is a good fight with him. It was a very close fight, and that's my sort of style, and I would take a lot from that. And Canelo is a very, very good inside fighter. He's world class. You can't talk rubbish about him because he's a very, very good fighter. But I would jump at the chance to fight either of them. And it's not just for the money, it's to test myself. Am I good enough? I don't know. I believe I am. In my own heart, I believe I'm born. I'm born to do this. And I believe I am good enough. And I would hate to give up boxing when I'm later on retire and think I've never got that chance to test myself at that elite level. And let's face it, them guys are elite. You have to be you have to be on your A game for them, and that's something I would most definitely want is Canelo fight.
Well, one thing about both fighters, and I mean, I think both fighters' camps. De La Hoya said this before. I believe people in Triple G's camp said it before. About you might have a belt, but you really haven't fought anybody on their level. And I tend to disagree with them on that. You fought, a lot of good guys, in England.
I will agree. I will agree with that. I haven't fought no one at their level. That's 100%.
Even if both guys win, or it depends on whoever wins. If Canelo wins or Triple G, do you feel like they're still going to be saying that about you? And if so, name one guy that you could fight and beat that you think would convince them that you're worthy of fighting.
Well, what I would love to do, is they keep saying Danny Jacobs is avoided. Listen, Danny Jacobs had a good fight with Golovkin. He didn't win. They need to forget that. He didn't win. He got beaten. And he keeps saying he's the most avoided fighter. I'll be happy to do that in December. If they want to do that in December, I'll beat Willie Monroe in September, and I will jump at the chance to fight Danny Jacobs, and I will beat him in December in London, England. If that's something they're looking, or I will go to America. If things stack up, I will go to America. I love to fight in America. My dream since I've been a kid is to come to America and fight for world titles, and I'm willing to fulfill them dreams.
I'll tell you what, champ, I'd love to see you come to America. I know you came so close before. They had different reasons. They said that it didn't happen, that you turned down some fighters and all that. I mean, they had a couple guys lined up. I don't the business. How the boxing business is. You don't know exactly what happened. I was supposed
to come and fight Rosado in America. Now, what I get paid in England is a lot of money. I like to think that I'm a big star in England, but what they wanted me to go to America for was absolute peanuts. Me world champion and fighting Rosado. Okay, I've got no problem. I'll come to America and I will fight your guy. But you have to pay me. I don't fight for free, and they tried to... De La Hoya put an offer through that. It wasn't acceptable, like 5 times less than what I get. And that's just, it's business at the end of the day, and that's not good business for me. If it was fighting Triple G for all of the belts, I might have took a consideration in it and thought, well, I've got a lot to gain. And maybe I would have done it, but, for the money they offered me was terrible.
Well, we got a lot of listeners, man, and we actually had Danny Jacobs on the show a couple of weeks ago. I know he listens to the show. Man, that is the fight I want to see. I'm glad you named that name. You named the top middleweight besides Canelo and Triple G. A lot of people think that he beat Triple G. You go out and you beat Danny Jacobs, you have to get that fight, man. They got to give you one or the other.
The way you look at it, brother, is that there's me, there's Danny Jacobs, there's the Canadian David Lemieux, there's Golovkin, and there's Canelo. At the end of the day, I'm the only other one who owns a belt. The others don't. I'm willing to fight them. I was supposed to fight David Lemieux. They all kept going on he's good, but then he said to me that he said to my team he wasn't ready. He was carrying an injury. So, these guys, I'm willing to fight them because, he was mandatory in line, but he passed up on that opportunity for a reason, other being that he knows he won't beat me. And I'm just looking forward to the big fights, and hopefully that me and Danny Jacobs can get made, and we'll see who rightly deserves to fight the winner of Canelo and Golovkin again.
Billy Joe, a month ago we had one of your mates on the show, Tyson Fury. He, just like you, he expressed his interest in fighting in the United States again. Then I think like a week later, he announced his retirement. He's kind of given mixed messages. I know he's at a place where he doesn't need to fight, but, the fighter in him comes out. You and him being pals.
Let me tell you about Tyson.
What could you tell us about him?
Tyson will be back. Tyson will 100% be back fighting at elite level again. It's only that at the moment he's got a dark cloud over his head regarding his boxing license, and that doesn't enhance until half of October. But once we get October out of the way, Tyson will 100% announce his return. And, I personally think that within 1 or 2 fights, he could fight your man Wilder or Anthony and Joshua.
We would either fight we would love. I know you as much as anybody knows boxing could definitely use the big guy. Your fellow gypsy brother, we could definitely use him back in this. Billy Joe, I know we got a lot of stuff going on. You're training. You're exactly 1 month from today. I think it's a little bit later in the UK, but exactly 1 month from today, you got your title defense. We wish you the best. We hope to be able to get you back on the show after your fight, after your victory. Obviously we're putting money on Billy Joe Saunders in that fight. Whether it wins us a lot back, we have to put $100 to win $1. It's the safest bet because we know what you're going to do to Willie Monroe. But we appreciate your time, champ, and would extend that invitation to have you back on the show again in the near future.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, boys, and God bless you all. Yeah, thank you.
Champ, God bless you, man, and we'll be in touch, man. Thank you for your time.
Thanks,
have
Champ.
A wonderful night.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, champ.